Coming up, a manhunt in Texas for the person police say is responsible for shooting and killing 5 people is now in custody. How law enforcement was able to capture their suspect. And a McDonald's franchise in Kentucky is busted for child labor violations, caught having 10-year-olds run their drive-thru. The Daily Rundown starts now. This is Straight Arrow News, bringing you unbiased, straight facts. I'm Kara Rucker. Francisco Oropesa has been caught and arrested by authorities on day 3 of an extensive manhunt for the person accused of murdering 5 people in a Texas home.
Bottom line is, we now have this man in custody. He was caught hiding in a closet underneath some laundry. They effectively made the arrest. He is uninjured, and he is currently being taken to my facility in Cold Springs.
Police say thanks to a tip that came into authorities, they were able to locate Oropesa less than 20 miles from where the crimes took place. The tip came into the FBI at 5:15 Tuesday evening, and by 6:30, Oropesa was no longer on the run. He has now been charged with 5 counts of murder and is being held on a $5 million bond. Oropesa is accused of killing 5 people, including a 9-year-old boy, after a member of the family asked Oropesa to stop firing his rifle so their baby could sleep. Next week, the Trump-era immigration policy known as Title 42 is set to expire. That will end the ability to use the pandemic as a reason to deny entry into the U.S. The Biden administration is preparing for a surge in immigration, sending 1,500 troops to the border, and now the U.S. and Mexico have brokered a new immigration strategy ahead of Title 42's expiration.
These 1,500 military personnel who will be sourced from the active duty component will fill critical capability gaps, such as ground-based detection and monitoring, data entry, and warehouse support until CPB can address these needs through contracted support. Military personnel will not directly participate in law enforcement activities.
Part of the new immigration policies meant to deter illegal crossings in the U.S. is Mexico will accept up to 100,000 migrants from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador to live and work in Mexico. They will also continue accepting migrants from Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, and Nicaragua who are turned away at the U.S. border. Another U.S. strategy is opening up immigration hubs outside of the U.S. for migrants to go and apply for U.S. citizenship in Guatemala and Colombia. Title 42 will lift May 11th. Montana Representative Zoe Zeifer will have to comply with House rules and sit out from participation on the floor. That's how a judge ruled after Zeifer tried to get the courts to overturn the House's silencing order on Zeifer. Zeifer complained the action violated her First Amendment right of free speech, while attorneys for the state said any action from the court to overturn the censure would be a blatant violation of separation of powers, because the House of Representatives has the right to discipline its own members. State lawmakers voted and approved a censure order after Zeifer told Republicans they have blood on their hands for opposing gender-affirming health care.
Your rights stop at a legislative supermajority. If 2/3 of a body decide that you and your constituents don't deserve representation, you don't get it. That is something that should be a huge worry to people who want to stand up for democracy.
The entertainment industry is already feeling the impact of the Hollywood writers' strike. Late-night talk shows went dark last night as an immediate impact of the workers' strike. A writer's walkout of this size hasn't been seen in more than 15 years. Picket lines formed out front of major production studios nationwide as unionized writers are demanding higher pay and job security in an industry that's constantly changing. However, representatives of the production companies have pushed back against those demands, pointing to budget constraints and recent layoffs. The impact of the strike: while late night was the first to go into rerun mode, daytime production is going dark with repeats expected, and same goes for your favorite soap operas. The writers and studios have no future talks planned right now, so it's unclear how long the strike could last.
You know, they always say they don't have money. They said they didn't have money for the last 5 years when they made $100 billion. They're going through a tough couple of transition years right now. But the truth is everything we're asking for is less than writers used to be paid. And essentially all of it is absorbable in the budgets of their movies and films. It's a small piece of what they spend.
The former top executives of two failed banks will testify before Congress later this month. The Senate Banking Committee indicated that it will hold a hearing May 16th with Silicon Valley Bank's former CEO Gregory Becker, as well as Signature Bank's former CEO Scott Shea and its former president Eric Howell. Two more hearings are scheduled this month on the collapse of the banks. The Federal Reserve's chief regulator Michael Barr previously blamed poor management on the collapse of SVB. The new testimony lineup comes as lawmakers dig into what caused a series of collapses at mid-sized financial institutions, which now includes First Republic Bank after it went under this week. A McDonald's in Kentucky has been fined for hiring two 10-year-old children, not paying them for their labor. And according to the Labor Department's news release, the children would sometimes still be working as late as 2 a.m., working the register, drive-thru, and one child was using a deep fryer working in the kitchen. The pair of children was employed by Bauer Food, an operator of 10 McDonald's franchise locations across 2 states. Bauer Food franchise owner Sean Bauer has responded to the Department of Labor's release, saying the children were visiting their parent, who was a night shift manager, and any work the children did were at the direction of the parent. Bauer Food was fined nearly $40,000. These are your top stories. Thanks for watching the Daily Rundown. We're on a mission to bring back trustworthy journalism by serving only you, not an agenda. Be sure to check out more of our work at straightarrownews.com. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.